good. What are you doing? You're on Facebook.
We got a baby club.
So I was going to start off with, we always do the Gmail show every Friday, but he has not had it for 3 weeks.
That is big news.
Yeah, but he has been really busy, so makes sense, I guess. That is still going to happen. Gmailshow.com is still going to happen, just probably not, maybe in the next week or two. I think we're starting it back up. So later in June, he's starting back up.
It was in the email. If you're subscribed to us, it's an email.
Yeah. But he's starting it back up then, and
he said he's gonna start putting up more videos too once he's in the new facility.
Once they start getting turning over there, and then he has some stuff about from Freshwater Farms, which is a farm here in Oregon, to talk about. And I think he's gonna have the owner from Freshwater Farms come on and speak on that first episode we come back in. I think. Probably almost ready. Cheers. And then what else was I gonna say? Oh, if you want us to talk about, so if you watch us on, you can watch this live on Twitch, obviously what we're doing right now. But if you want to leave a comment, when you're watching this on YouTube and you want us to talk about a specific state or specific news article or something, you can always DM us or whatever. But you can also leave a comment down in the comment section below, and we will try to, if there's a certain state you want to hear laws change or whatever, see what's going on. We can try to focus on specific stuff. Because right now we're still just kind of looks through articles and finds stuff that looks semi-interesting, and we just pick it out. So. But yeah, feel free to suggest anything if you guys want to suggest anything.
That's good, yeah.
And we're now officially a Twitch affiliate.
Yay! What does that mean?
I don't know. But I think people can subscribe to channel, which is awesome. Moving on up. Yeah, I think what article you should start with, do you have?
I thought you said you were starting.
I think you should start on that one. Right, because since we talked about Chicago last week.
Okay, well, so it wasn't Chicago, it was Illinois.
Oh,
The last time that we did the video, they had passed in the Senate, and I think it was going to the state.
It wasn't totally passed.
House, yeah. And now I think they have officially passed, so it makes Illinois the 11th state in the nation to legalize recreational marijuana. Gosh, that's crazy, guys. That's crazy. 11th state to go rec. Not medical, rec. So I think that that's pretty amazing news.
Pretty awesome. Congratulations, Illinois.
Right.
You can go buy some weed instead of some beer now, for once, legally.
2 other states have introduced it to their legislation, and Delaware and New York. New York is a big one too, because I know that there is tons of money to be made there. In Canada.
Yeah. Looks like New York says they're not going to pass quite yet. Are probably on this legislation because they only had a month left when this was put out. But the governor wants to do it. It's just a matter of getting, I guess, enough votes in the Senate, which they might not get this season, but possibly next season. If you don't know how laws work or how change works in the U.S., it takes a long time for anything to happen. So every time they have a session, they only have so many bills and laws they look at, and they only vote on so many, and then that session's over, and you gotta wait till next year to get your shit in. Like it's the most inefficient process in the world, probably.
Unless there's money.
Unless you got enough money to lobby your shit across the finish line right off the rip, then you can make it happen pretty fast, maybe. Kind of fast, at least. I have no idea what this time is at.
Go ahead, hit it.
Okay.
It's pretty big down. Yeah.
Doesn't look too hot.
No.
Oh, that tastes good.
Okay.
Alright, what's next? Bro, I'm hitting this. You can't read it? What? I changed the page for you. You can't read it?
I mean, I can read it.
This is exactly what I'm talking about. You're just trying to sit there and say nothing again.
Whatever. Okay. I thought that you had said earlier before we started, like, oh, you do one, and then I do one.
Oh, is that? I mean, we don't have to do it like that.
I mean, but I thought that that's what you said. You
No.
were like, you're gonna,
I was like, I was gonna get it started.
And I'm gonna start and read the first one.
Well, then it took you forever to take the dab, so we already got into it.
How did it take me forever when you were the one giving me the dab?
Because it takes us so long to burn off the
It doesn't make any sense.
thing.
Okay, I think you should read this one. I found this article for you because
Because it has to do with cannabis stocks.
Yeah.
I haven't really read any of these articles all the way yet. So it's just talking about how the cannabis stocks are right. The SAFE Act, which is right here. What
Yeah,
is
so
that?
it's the Banking Act, basically.
For cannabis, right?
So yeah, they're saying that because that's gaining momentum.
That the stocks are starting to move up.
Yeah.
Which of course they all went back down when Trump was just talking about tariffs for Mexico, but now that's over, so now they're all going back up again. So it's just like up and down, up and. It depends on what Trump tweets that day. Is really what
That's crazy.
influences the stock market more than this thing, I would imagine.
Him right there.
This guy right here. The Safe Banking Act has been closer to full vote after it's placed in Union County. This would be huge for us. This is such a hurdle in cannabis right now, not being able to use a bank. It just being a cash business, it's just a fucking hassle. But yeah, you can obviously see some of these stocks are up. Canopy's up a little. I mean, everything's kind of up right now just because of the tariff thing switched back. But anyway, so that's what's going on with that. They're still all moving around. If you believe in global legalization, you could get some cheap marijuana stocks if the company's good enough, and you might be worth it.
Yeah, so basically you can get your med card now in New Mexico for opioid use and get prescribed cannabis, which I thought that was pretty awesome because think that I feel like those are the people that could benefit from the use of cannabis like the most.
People with opioid addictions.
Yeah.
Is this it's not really saying that they can give out opioid as a prescription, or sorry, opioids. Is it saying that instead of getting an opioid, you could get cannabis as your prescription from a doctor? Or it's just saying if you want to use cannabis for opioid addiction or whatever, you're allowed to use it? Gotcha.
It is just adding that onto the medical conditions.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
But that's pretty cool.
Let's
hope
every state
should do that. Yeah.
Hopefully Texas, because Texas is super, like, they were just epileptic people at first, and they're starting to add some more disorders on there.
A big statistic. In 2017, New Mexico had the highest rate of drug overdose deaths west of Tennessee at 24.8 per 100,000 people.
Damn, that's a lot.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, people can smoke weed instead of popping pills, and that'll do it for them. Then, man, that would probably help a lot, I'm sure.
That'd be awesome.
So, if you're in New Mexico and you have an opioid problem, you can at least go seek cannabis and try something new.
So this is a funny one.
Oh, this is that weird
guy. Why is he weird?
It just looks weird. I don't know.
So don't be judgy.
Don't be judgy.
Don't be judgy.
He's probably a nice guy. He's not like a
probably a super nice guy. So he is the pastor of a church, a anti-porn church. So he basically helps people overcome
their sex or porn addiction.
Yeah, with love versus like being
sex and porn is love, right?
No, I mean like those churches that are like super shame.
Yeah, shame.
So let's love them. Well, anyway, so he started like a cannabis church or a website. So the name of his church is XXX Church.
Of course.
That's the anti-porn that church.
Yeah.
And so then he made a cannabis website where you could buy THC mints. You could buy vape pens and all that good stuff. So I think that's pretty cool. Of course, he is in California.
It just seems weird. I don't know. It just seems weird.
Right. I think that's cool though that there's a pastor that's being like, look, this plant is from the
on
earth.
whatever trendy thing can make money. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Moving on. Oh, this is pretty crazy. Coroner, woman died of THC overdose after smoking marijuana oil.
So this is like in Louisiana, like places where like stuff like this is important, right? Apparently, a coroner said that according to his toxicology report, there's no foul play, there was no other...
If you don't know what that is, as a person looks at dead bodies.
There was no substances found in her system except for...
THC.
She's 39 years old. So apparently they're trying to say that the high amount of THC in her system led to a respiratory
shutdown.
Because she had 8.4 nanograms per milliliter of blood. The coroner said, from the time that they were able to take the sample and test it, it had been way after she supposedly passed away. So at that time, it would have been higher. So
seems crazy though.
Right.
It seems crazy. It's
Maybe she just had like a heart attack, and then because they were reading her.
Well, they would see the heart attack, right? He would
Oh, they
look for
would?
that. I would think. I don't. It just seems kind of. You know, they only test for some. They're testing for drugs and specific things, but what if there's like a pesticide or something in that oil, or because it's she's smoking oil in Louisiana, so who knows what quality of oil we're talking about here. Like, what if there was just something that they used in the garden and that she was like fucking allergic to and it just shut her body down or something, you know?
Right.
Because I feel like even if you stop breathing, you know, you know, when you're high, you would pass out and then your like
Wake
body
up
would
back
assume
up.
normal function. Yeah, you'll wake back up. I don't know. That's
Right.
but if this, you know, this could be the first
So-
person that was technically killed by THC, which
Yeah.
is never with the whole thing about weed is it doesn't kill you no matter how much you smoke, right? So that's
So they said that this
That's the
would be
problem.
the first. This would be
Yeah.
the first ever.
so hopefully they really look into and do their research and hope, you know, figure out what actually happened or if this was the cause, you know, or what. So we'll see. We will see. I've definitely got pretty high before, but never died getting high. Still here.
You know those times where you're like, I feel like I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
Maybe you are about to die.
Maybe you are about to. No, don't tell people that. Then they're gonna freak out the next time they get too high and they're like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna die." This is exactly what they're talking about. Why Colombia posed a threat to cannabis stocks?
Yeah, so they're just basically saying that big companies like Canopy Growth, Tilray, Aurora, they are trying to get to a certain dollar per gram goal.
Right.
And they said that most Canadian, you know, type farms and companies are shooting at $2 per gram.
Well, Aurora's is almost out. Their goal was $1. They're supposed to be at $1 by now, but.
Okay. Well, this article states, you know, they're trying to get to 2, and they're talking about how, like, other companies that are not based out of Canada, they are looking at places at buying farms in places like Colombia where labor is skilled but super, super cheap.
Super cheap.
And
And they don't have to have the big indoor facilities down there.
Right.
Because that's the whole thing. I mean, in the north, you have winter, all that shit in Canada, which is why they lobbied a lot for the indoor production up there. And they put a lot of money into it.
Right.
But down south, I mean, they can use greenhouses easily all year long and just pump out crops. I mean, the cost of a greenhouse versus those big indoor places is pretty substantial.
Full spectrum.
So,
well, anyways, yeah,
that's what they're saying. Yeah. That's what they're saying. They're just because their cost is going to be so low down there that it's going to drive the price down. But like, I would think people like Aurora they're buying up places all over the world. So I would imagine they already have stuff started in Colombia trying to produce down there because that would just be another production spot for them, you know.
Yeah.
So that's what's going down in Colombia. Oh, this is kind of shitty.
Yeah, I know someone.
No VA loans for cannabis workers. What is that talking about? I mean,
so that's just basically saying that if you worked in the industry, anything to do with cannabis, and you are you're a previous service member, you know, if you're a veteran and you have a home loan that you want to use, they're saying that you cannot use it until you are no longer working in the cannabis industry because the VA considers the cannabis industry incapable of being stable and reliable.
I don't know. It's just crappy though because even if you have like this is saying if you work in a licensed place too, right? Any type of cannabis, if you work with any type of cannabis company, and you worked in the military, and VA loans are obviously great loans for military people because the percentage is stupid low. They're really good loans, and that's kind of a perk for being in the military is you get access to these things. It's kind of shitty because cannabis is being like found to work really well with PTSD, which a fuck ton of military people have a problem with, and it's done huge things. I mean, there's cannabis VA groups like all on social media and stuff talking about how it's like changed their lives, and states are the VA slowly trying to consider it, but this is kind of a shitty thing, you know. They really need to kind of grow up a little bit.
Well, I mean,
stop pumping opioids down these dudes' fucking throats.
They will as soon as they take weed off, right?
We'll see. We'll see. So VA still living in the past. Sucks if you have VA. If you're trying to get a VA loan, maybe you can't work in cannabis right now. That's it.
That's what we got.
That's all we got. All the